DIY, Ziplock bag, the wonders of this modern innovation. But can it be made better? If you've seen one of these before, you've likely used one. And whether you're backpacking through Europe or the backcountry wilderness, you probably have 1, 2, maybe even 10 of these in your backpacking kit. But what if there was a way to reduce your pack weight, your plastic waste, the money you spend, and make a more usable backpacking piece of gear? All in one. Is it possible? Well, I'm not so sure, but we're gonna try to find out today, and let's see if it works. Hey everyone, welcome to Backcountry Forward. My name's Jesse, and on this channel we believe the backcountry is for everyone. So I do my best to offer the tips and tools to get backpackers backpacking. And part of being backcountry forward means taking something that's ordinary and making it better for the backcountry. And about 6 months ago, I was watching a King of Random video where I watched as he made a Ziploc bag more valuable. Let me explain what I mean. See, I use a lot of Ziploc bags in my backpacking kit, everything from my toilet paper to my electronics to my daily morning coffee. P.S. Making your own instant coffee mixes is way cheaper than getting those Starbucks Vita. Plus, I can make it as sweet and creamy as I like it to be. But I digress. So I have them in a lot of different things, especially my food bag where I use them to pre-portion meals and different ingredients. But as much as I tell myself every single time that I'm packing that I'm going to reuse these, I'll bring them home and wash them, when push comes to shove and I'm on the trail, I take that Ziploc bag I just used, I put it in the garbage bag, and when I get home and I open that stinky, slimy, smelly garbage bag, I think to myself, I would rather not. Because Ziploc bags are a dime a dozen. I know single-use plastics, I hate to admit it, but it's just what I do. But as I watched this video, I realized that by making Ziploc bags more valuable, more specialized, they have a purpose. And if they have a specific purpose that I made them for, when I open up that slimy, stinky garbage bag, I'm gonna think, I know what these Ziploc bags are for. I have a reason to keep them. I have a purpose for them. They're not just a dime a dozen. I'm gonna rinse and reuse them for the future because I don't want to make more. That's what I'm thinking, and I hope it works. I think it might, but this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna try to show you guys how it's done, and then I'm gonna show you some of the ways I plan to use this in my backpacking kit, and by the end, we'll be able to decide whether it's worth it and whether or not it even works. So let's get to it. Okay, so let's talk about the things that you're going to need. First and foremost, you're going to need some different sizes Ziploc bags for the things that you would normally use. Now, if you're a backpacker, you probably have lots of these lying around because I think nobody uses more Ziploc bags than backpackers. I mean, moms probably use more Ziploc bags than backpackers, but that's because moms have us beat in just about every regard. Let's be real. But besides the point, you got some Ziploc bags, different sizes, different types. Now, I should mention, the video specifically says you should only use the freezer Ziploc bags and that's how you need to do this. I do have one regular type Ziploc bag because it's a little bit lighter, and I think for what I'm gonna use it for, it'll be pretty good. We're gonna find out. Then you're gonna need a coat hanger. You're gonna wanna take the coat hanger, you're gonna want to bend it out just a little bit, and then you're also going to want a Sharpie and some form of a torch. Now, I don't have a torch, but I do have my butane canister stove, which I think will work perfectly. And then what you're gonna need is some ingredients. I've got a bunch of stuff here. These are the things that I would normally put in my Ziploc bags in my backpack, at least a few of them. And, you know, I'll get to some of that as I go. But first, let's see whether or not this works. So, we're gonna turn on. There we go. And you're gonna wanna start heating your hanger right away. Now, the reason you have this curved edge is because as you bend down on the table, you want that firm seal of the Ziploc bag. So this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna wanna really heat that up. Now, this is my second round tonight. I've already made one of my coffee packets. The issue is, I don't know if you can see it, but it has a little bit of a hole in it and it hasn't quite sealed. And I think that's because I actually had put the coffee stuff in the plastic bag, kind of as you can see right here. And so there was just little granules, and I think that it made it so that it couldn't quite seal. So I'm kind of putting that to the side, and I'm using a fresh Ziploc bag, which has nothing in it. Pause that there. I gotta measure this. So I'm gonna take my full one here. I've already put the ingredients. like I said, in one of my Ziploc bags, so I know roughly what it is, and basically it's third. So I'm just gonna kind of eyeball this. That looks like roughly a third. Doesn't need to be exact. So hopefully that will be 3 of these and give me a better seal. So with that laying down, get my hanger really hot. Now, you want this to be as hot as possible. You can see some of the fire coming off of it. You want to be in a well-ventilated area so that you're not just breathing in plastic fumes, because it's not the most pleasant smell, but science, what can I say? So, here goes nothing. And simply peel up. Okay, get that hot again. Round 2. Put that off to the side here. So as you can see, I've got 3 Ziploc bags. Now I'm going to test these out and see whether they have leaks in a little bit, but we're going to put them off to the side right now, because the next thing I want to do is test the same thing with a freezer bag and see if it makes it work a little bit better. And more heating of the hanger. You want to make sure that the part that hits this zipper, because it's a little thicker part, is a little warmer than the rest of it. And you want to make sure that you're heating the hanger along the whole edge so that it's long enough to actually make that full cut along the entire edge there. So, okay, let's find out. Okay, bada boom, bada bing. I'm gonna test these 3, and I'm really hoping that they're gonna be watertight, because I like to sometimes put drink mixes in these things, like I've said, and obviously if they get wet, you don't want them getting all crystally and chunky. So we're gonna again put that off to the side. Next thing, okay, so I've got my protein powder pre-measured here, and this might be an example of what not to do. We're gonna try giving it a test just one more time, just for the sake of it. But what can sometimes happen is the powder kind of interferes with the edge and doesn't give you that nice seal that you really want. And maybe it will work a little bit better with the thicker plastic. It wasn't working the best with the thinner plastic, so here is hoping. We're gonna give it a go. Now I'm going to leave this side as is. I'm not going to cut this into a third, and the reason being, I can use this side for my trail mix. That's a perfect trail mix bag to me. Okay. So we're going to see if this sealed properly. As you can see, I think it didn't quite seal properly. And that's simply because just a little bit got in the way. So that kind of goes to show you can't make these with ingredients in the bag. You need to make them when they're nice and dry. Okay, so this side, if I inspect it, yeah, there's this side sealed nicely. That's pretty good. So I'm gonna see if I can make some individual sealed plastic baggies, and I'm gonna try to use some of my icing sugar, because that sometimes, like I said, that's what I use for my famous muffin bombs. You can check those up here. I make a muffin bomb, and sometimes I'll make a muffin bomb for dessert. Don't judge me. I have a feeling this is not going to work, because you can already tell, look at how much I'll line up there. But I'm thinking if I can cut right around here, you know, a single individual use icing sugar packet. Let's try it. Okay. Yeah, ooh, smells like burning sugar. Okay, well, that didn't work there. That's for sure. Look at that. Not quite sealed. That goes to show you really can't pre-fill them and then do that. I did make a smaller one earlier. I had thought about like a minor pill container just for 1 or 2 pills. So, okay. So the last thing I'm gonna try making isn't actually for ingredients. It's gonna be for my electronics. I like a longer bag for like my cords and different things. So I'm gonna try to make probably just even half or even maybe a third for my electronics. just to give it a try. You see, I'm really gonna need to heat up the whole edge here so that I get that proper seal right down the middle. And not wasting much time with this one. Boom. Oh yeah, that looks perfect. Okay, and that will be a really good meal size. Okay, so as you can see, I've got some water here to test the waterproofness of these. Now, one of the things that the King of Random did and said you could do is use these to make homemade popsicles or homemade freezies. You know, you just fill these up with whatever flavored juice you want, put them in the freezer, and you've got yourself a freezie. I'm gonna test how watertight these actually are. Okay. Oh, I don't. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. That's just like. Pfft. Okay, so this is the thinnest bags, which, like I said, the King of Random said not to use these, and that's probably why. Okay, so now I've got one of the freezer bags that I made. Now this one's really good because I cut it on both sides. So if this is watertight, that's a really good sign. Now I'm looking at it. I'm not sure. We're gonna find out. Let's use the blue and test it. Because that's probably enough. Huh. Uh-oh. I can already tell. Look at that. It's not sealed at the bottom. And it's not sealed at the top. There's leaking on both sides. No! Now the reality is a little bit of a leak. It's not leaking on this side, so this edge is good. It's just this one edge that is leaking a little bit there. So that's kind of disheartening. Now the thing is, what I'm putting in there isn't a wet ingredient. It's a dry ingredient. And the reality is this is in my watertight food bag. So the chances of water getting in here and crystallizing these are really slim. So I'm not sure if that really matters too much for my dried powdered mixes. It's something I'm gonna have to test, I guess. I was hoping this would be like a kickin' awesome thing. But it's still good for me to have the right size Ziploc bag for my electronics, or in this case, trail mix. I had hoped that maybe if you watch some of my other videos, you might see my little hack for using toothpaste in my hygiene video. How I do that, I use straws. I was thinking that I could make a little tube, you know, of toothpaste just like that big, and having toothpaste just there as like single day use toothpaste. But I think my tried and test method with the icing sugar, well, tastes delicious, but that definitely did not work. I could probably do the small Ziploc bag like what I did for the pill here. I could make this like a little thing of toothpaste, I guess. I don't know, that's an idea. So let's talk about it. This experiment was a mixed bag. No pun intended. Actually, pun fully intended. Did it work? Sort of. Will I use these for my drink mixes? Honestly, probably. Like, I don't need them to be bone dry. They're in a dry bag already. So I think that's pretty good. I'm really happy with how my trail mix bag turned out. I think this will work great for some of my longer cords and batteries, which is awesome. Individual packages is a fail at best and a mess at worst. They're not watertight. So does this work? Well, yes. Is it the best option? Yes, because otherwise you just have big Ziploc bags. Is it worth it? Well, am I going to use these? Yes. Would I do it again? Probably. Would you guys do it? That's what I really want to know. Let me know in the description, and if you'd like to see the original video from the King of Random, you can click right here. And if you'd like to see a meal that I made in the backcountry entirely in a Ziploc bag, because you love Ziploc bags so much, why don't you click this video, because that's actually why I made this in the first place. So I'll see you in the next one.